Welcome to our practice chair yoga class. So this will last about 15 minutes or so. All you need is a chair. So I'm just using one of my kitchen chairs. But as long as it's a comfortable chair and that you can have your feet comfortably on the floor, preferably at a bit of a right angle. You can always place a block, or if you haven't got a block, a cushion or a book under your feet so you feel more comfortable. So we're going to start the class, as I start all my yoga classes, just letting the eyes close or just taking our gaze to the floor. And we start just by reminding ourselves that when we're doing our yoga practice, our focus is with that. So any cares or concerns that we might have today, we're just going to put them to one side. And then let's start by thinking about our breathing. And just notice your breath to start with. And then we think about our body being divided into three sections. So our tummy is the bottom, the rib cage, the middle, the upper chest, the top. As we breathe in, we breathe into the bottom, middle, top, and we breathe out from the bottom, middle, and top. You might want to add a count to this breathing. So we aim to breathe in for 6 and out for 6, but if that feels too long, then you can reduce your count to 4 or 5. And let's just have one more round. And then if your eyes have been closed, we're going to blink them open. And we're going to start by doing some joint release practices for our wrists and fingers and hands. So all we're going to do is just flash the hands, make a fist, flash the fingers. And then we're going to make a fist and we're going to draw circles with the fists, going in one direction and then the other. Lovely. We're going to extend the arms and then take the fingertips to the shoulders. And then we're going to take the fingertips to the shoulders and draw circles with the elbows. And we really want to see how much we can squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lovely. Let's do a couple forward. Wonderful. We're going to make those movements a little bit bigger. So we're going to circle one arm extended. And then we're going to make those circles as big as we can. So we're really working that shoulder joint. And then let's just change direction. We'll go the other way. But this time our circles will get a little bit smaller and smaller until we're back where we are. Just going to hold it there just for a couple of extra breaths, and while we're here we'll flex and extend the hand at the wrist. Lovely, let's lower that down and we'll do all of that again on the other side. So we'll start by making small movements, and those circles will get bigger and bigger until they're going as big as your shoulder will allow. And then we'll change direction, but this time our circles will get smaller and smaller and smaller until we return to back where we were, and then we'll repeat that extending and flexing of the hand at the wrist. Wonderful. Let's move on up to the shoulders. So let's just shrug them up as close to our ears as we can, and then let them drop. We're going to do that 2 more times. Shrug them up and let them drop. 1 more. Wonderful. And then let's warm up our neck. So we'll drop one ear to one shoulder, and then the other way. One way, and then the other. And then we're going to drop the chin, and you might feel that stretch in the back of the neck and maybe down into your shoulders. So we keep the shoulders soft. It's like we're just letting the head be heavy. And then we're going to lift the chin, so we're lengthening through the front of the throat. Lovely, and then we'll come back to where we were. We're going to do some little twists. So we're just going to take our right hand to the outside of the left knee, and we're going to twist to look over the left shoulder. And then we're going to go the other way. I'm going to do that 2 more times each side. So we're going to twist to the left, keeping the shoulder soft, drawing the belly in. Let's go the other way, twisting to the right, shoulder soft, belly draws in. Back to the first side, back to the left. You might be able to twist a little bit further now. Back to the right. And coming back to the centre. We're going to continue with our back warm up, our spinal warm up. So we're going to keep our hands on our thighs or knees. We need to make sure we've got space behind us on our chair, because we're going to be leaning back a little bit. So as we breathe out, we're going to round the back, lean back, tuck the tummy in, drop the chin. As we inhale, we're going to lean forward, arch the back, lift the chin, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to do that a few more times. I'll just turn to the side so you can see the shape of the spine. We're arching as we inhale. We're rounding as we exhale. We're just going to do a few more of those. Rounding and arching. Rounding and arching. Lovely. Let's come back to our sitting upright. We're going to make sure we've still got that space. We're going to add some arm movement to that cat back. So as we inhale and arch the back, we're going to take the arms wide. And as we round the back and lean backwards, we're going to reach forward. So we're really needing to draw the belly button in to support that spine. We're just going to do a few more of those. Let's do one more. And we'll come back to sitting upright. So we're going to warm up our feet and our ankles a little bit more. And we're going to always start the same way. We point the toes to the floor and then the heel. So it's toe, heel. And then we see if we can take the outside edge to the floor and then the inside edge. And then we're going to circle the foot at the ankle. And we change direction. We'll go the other way. And we're going to hold that thigh, and keeping the thigh still, we just circle the lower part of the leg. So it's a very tiny movement. And then we're going to hold on to the whole of that leg, and we're going to draw it up as high as it wants to come. If any hip surgery, remember we don't go beyond the 90 degrees. And then we're going to circle the leg at the hip. As always, we go in one direction and then we go in the other. We let that leg have a little bit of a rest, and we'll work with the other one. So same as the other side, heel toe. Really pointing that foot. And then we go to the outside edge and the inside edge. And then we're going to circle the foot at the ankle, going in one direction and the other. And then we circle the lower part of the leg. So we aim to keep that thigh still. So it's a really small movement. Let's just change direction again. And then taking up that knee as high as it wants to go. It might not go beyond that 90 degrees, that's fine. And then we circle the leg at the hip. And again, as always, we go in one direction and then we go in the other. Lovely, we come back to our sitting upright. So we're going to make our legs work a little bit harder. We're going to make sure we're further forward on our chair. So we're not using our chair to support the thighs, we're using our muscle strength. If your heel doesn't touch the floor, you can raise the floor by putting a book in front of you and having your heel on the book. So we're going to extend one leg, and we're going to flex the foot, and we're going to see how much we can spread our toes. And the more you flex the foot, the more you feel the back of the leg working. And then if we can, and it's comfortable to do so, we're going to raise that leg. We're going to hold it there. You might feel your quad working now. Let's lower it down. Let's bend it to give it a bit of a rest. We can do that one more time. I'm going to extend the leg, flex the foot, feel that calf muscle wake up, and then we have the option of raising the leg. If you've got TheraBands at home, you can always use that looped around the sole of the foot to give you a bit of support. Let's take it out to the side just for a couple of breaths. Let's bring it back and lower. Wonderful. We're going to do all of that again on the other side. So remember, if you need something under the heel, if your heel doesn't touch the floor, just placing it there now. And then let's extend the other leg. Remind ourselves, the more we can flex the foot, the more we'll wake up the calf, and we're going to see, can we spread those toes out. And then we can leave the heel on the floor, but you might want to raise it, and we'll feel that thigh muscle engage. Really important muscles for supporting our knees. And let's lower. Let's bend the knee, give it a bit of a rest. And let's have one more go. So extend the leg, flex the foot, raise it. And then this time we have the option of taking it out to the side just for a couple of breaths. And then we bring it back and we lower. Lovely. You might want to give those thighs a little bit of a rub. So we're going to step our feet wide and we've got our toes turned out. We're going to do a few little forward folds. So remember, if you've had hip replacement, you might not be comfortable going beyond 90 degrees, so you don't need to do the leaning forward, but what we're going to be doing is scooping our arms down towards the ground, but you might just be reaching forward, then that's okay. And then we're going to be reaching up. And again, if your shoulders don't like taking the arms up, we just go as high as is comfortable for us. So when we're ready, we're going to scoop down and then we're going to scoop up. So we're making a figure of 8 with our arms. We're going to scoop down. We're going to scoop up. Let's scoop down. We're going to scoop up. We're going to do it 2 more times. We're going to scoop down. And we're going to scoop up. Last one. Scooping down and scooping up. Wonderful. Let's come back to sitting. We're going to keep our legs wide and we're going to extend one leg, aiming to keep the heel on the floor. We're going to twist towards the bent knee, placing the hand, one hand on that straight leg, and we're going to slide it down. So we add a little bit of a side bend. We've got the other hand at the waist, looking over that shoulder. If this shoulder is a happy shoulder, we're going to reach up with the arm and over towards the straight leg. It's fine to keep that hand on the waist if you need to. Let's come out the way we went in. We lift up, we rebend the knee. We're going to repeat that the other side. So let's extend that leg. If it doesn't want to go, we can keep the knee bent. We can place it on our block. Hand on the waist, other hand on the straight leg. Let's slide that hand down the straight leg. We can keep this hand on our waist, or if we know this shoulder's happy, we can reach up and over towards that straight leg. And we come out the way we went in. So the arm comes back to the waist if it's not there already. We slide ourselves back up. We rebend the knee. So we're going to do something called sit to stand that we do each week in class. I'll just turn to the side so you can see what I'm up to. We can hold on to our chair for this, but our aim is to have our hands on our thighs, and we want our feet a comfortable distance apart. So the distance apart that you have when you're standing, mine are hip width. And all we're going to do is we're going to lift our bottom. It's going to hover just a few inches off the chair. So we're going to have a nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we lean forward, we push through the feet, and our bottom hovers. And then we lower ourselves back down. We do that 2 more times. Nice deep breath in. We lean forward, we lift our bum, we hold it, feel those thighs working. Use your tummy muscles to support you, so that belly button draws in towards your spine. Let's lower down. You might want to give those thighs a bit of a rub because we've got 1 more to go. Let's lean forward. As we exhale, let's push through the feet. Gonna hold it here. 1 more breath. And then we lower down. Lovely. So although it's chair yoga, we are going to come up to standing for a little while. We're going to come up. We're going to use the back of our chair as support if we need it, because we're going to do a little bit of balancing. So we're going to start in our Tadasana. So when we're in Tadasana, we think about how wide you want your feet to be. So I like to have mine hip width, but our stance changes throughout our life, so you might want yours wider. We're going to lift the toes and spread them out. And we imagine our feet are rectangles, and we push into all four corners. Tailbone points to the floor, tummy gently draws in. We roll our shoulders so the shoulder blades are gently easing towards each other. Our arms are hanging heavy. Back of the neck long. Same as before. At the beginning of the class we can have eyes closed or gaze soft and lowered. And we just imagine ourselves growing taller each time we breathe in. And each time we breathe out, our shoulders are soft. So if your eyes are closed, we're going to blink them open. And we're going to lift the right heel. So we're on the ball of the foot. So we're stretching out the underside of the foot. We're going to repeat that the other side. So we're lifting the left foot. So we're still on the ball. So the left foot gets a bit of a stretch. We take that down. We have the option now of repeating that, or you might want to raise both heels. And then lower. This is when you might want to be using your chair. We're going to repeat that. And then we're going to lower. We're going to do our tree pose. So we're going to take the right heel to the top of the left foot. We can use our chair, we can take our hands into prayer, or even have your hands at your waist. If you feel pretty steady there, you might see if you can lift that right foot and take it to the inside of the lower leg. Let's take that down to the floor. We're going to repeat that the other side, knowing we've got the chair there if we need it. We're going to take the left heel to the top of the right foot. We can hold on to the chair, we can have hands at the waist or in prayer. We don't need to do the same thing both sides, and if you're feeling steady, we raise the foot. And then we take that leg down. We're going to do one more little thing here. We're going to do a forward fold. So, we want to walk a little bit away from our chair. And we want our feet hip width apart. We're going to take our hands to the back of the chair. We're going to hinge and aim to come to a 90-degree angle. So our upper body 90 degrees to the legs. So we're going to hinge at the hips, fold forward, coming into our forward fold. As always, we think about drawing the tummy in and sliding the shoulder blades down the back. If you know your hips and your back are happy to go greater than 90 degrees, we might be able to hinge all the way forward. Be careful if you've got low blood pressure. If you're doing this version, you'll be happier with the hands on the back of the chair. If you're in your full forward fold, you're going to come back up to where we were using the chair. And then we're all going to bend our knees now, and we're all going to come up to standing. And we all get to come and sit back down on our chair. Lovely. So we're going to do a little bit of a concentration practice. So what we're going to be doing is, as we breathe in, we're going to take the thumb to the first finger. As we breathe out, we take the thumb to the tip of the next finger. Breathing in, thumb to the tip of the ring finger. Breathing out, thumb to the tip of the little finger. We're just going to do that just for a few moments. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Just a few times by yourself. Eyes closed or open. Lovely, last one. And then when you finish, just allowing the hands to rest on your lap. If you need to sit further back in your chair to make yourself comfortable, we're going to keep our eyes closed or keep the gaze soft and lowered. We let our breath just return to its natural rhythm. Jaw is soft, shoulders are soft. And we picture our breath a little bit like a wave flowing through the body. Your out breath might even sound a little bit like the sound of the waves on the shore. You might like to picture yourself sitting on a warm sandy beach, the sun above you warming your skin. The sound of the sea makes you feel calm and relaxed. You might be able to imagine you can smell the salt in the air. And as well as imagining the sound of the sea, you might be able to create that sound of seagulls in the air. And just watching the waves as they roll in and out, just like our breath flowing in and out of our bodies. Each wave allowing us to relax even further, even more. And we ask that may we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from inner and outer harm. May we all be healthy and strong. May we all feel safe and protected. And may we all know joy. And if our eyes are closed, we're going to just blink them open. And we're going to have a lovely big inhale. So as we breathe in, we sweep the arms up. We bring the palms together and we exhale and bring them back down. And we remind ourselves to have right thoughts, right speech, and right intentions. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this little taster chair yoga class. And I hope that you enjoyed it and that you might like to join me in the real world.